withholding of removal, unlike asylum, is mandatory. Asylum is discretionary. Withholding of removal, if the judge feels that there's a greater than 50% chance that you might be persecuted, the judge has the power of granting withholding of removal. And that's actually a higher standard than the asylum one. But with withholding of removal, you can stay here for the rest of your life. You can work. You can get travel documents to come in and out. But the bottom line is, it doesn't result in a path to permanent residency. So essentially, it's a life sentence. It doesn't go anywhere. You have the ability to be here. You can't petition for your relatives. You're just here, and you're allowed to stay for the rest of your life. The other thing about withholding is you can be deported to a third country if you have withholding of removal. Now, Trump has begun to do that. He's begun to send people to third countries. The one that got the most publicity is when he sent the detainees to El Salvador to be put in a detention center there. Whether that was right or wrong is not the point. The point is that the president, if those people have been granted withholding, the president could still send them to a third country. And like I said, that didn't used to happen in the past, but it does happen now. So there's two flavors of withholding of removal. There's withholding of removal that's proven, and then there's withholding of removal based on U.S. government policy. Now, if you're applying for withholding of removal, you have an asylum application. Just that from the judge's point of view, it's easier to allow the person to park themselves here than to put them on the path to permanent residency. Because withholding is there for people who aren't going to apply for cannot apply for permanent residency. Because the law says that the person is eligible for withholding. If you put on a show and you're asking for withholding, there has to be a great deal of evidence, no matter how it happens. It's called protection under the CAT treaty. The CAT is the Convention Against Torture. And without getting into many details, this is a defense in immigration court. And if you are found to be eligible under the CAT protocols, you are allowed to stay in the United States for the rest of your life. And you can move towards permanent residency when you get protection under the Convention Against Torture. But you have to prove that it's more likely than not that your government, will torture you. It creates a burden of proof. And so you have to prove through similarly situated people that the individual now in immigration court is likely to suffer the same fate.